Now, this is some news. Anyone who's even remotely interested in basketball would have heard about Warren, a star player originally from Durham. He began playing basketball for the North Carolina State Wolfpack in ACC in 2012, and he has only gone up from there until his unfortunate foot injury. Now getting back from the season-ending injury, will Warren perform the way he did? Let's get started. First up, this guy ain't no quitter. Getting a basket from the three-pointer line may be hard for some, but not TJ Warren. He played like a dream and left the viewers wanting more. Playing at the wing, one of the most important positions in the NBA. Warren's performance literally carried his team through the season, and he was at an all-time high when a stress injury struck. What seemed to be a routine procedure ended with him being ruled out for the remaining season of 2021 to 2022. He has not played since 2020, closing in on almost 2 years. This is a player who everyone wanted to see succeed, and despite having been missing in action, he was one of those players you think of wistfully, hoping that they'd somehow make it back. Well, TJ Warren has done just that. All eyes are on him for the season. Will he outshine like always? Will he be better? Or is it over for the promising young man? Only time will tell. Coming up next, an unforgettable offense. Not being in the game for almost 2 years can definitely make people forget, and that's what has happened to TJ Warren. A star player at the peak of his career having to face an injury is one of the most heartbreaking things that can happen. While some might not recognize him or understand all the hype that surrounds his return, his fans, those who saw him match after match, giving it his all, they remember. In his first year at North Carolina, he played throughout the season, which got him a spot on the ACC All-Freshman team. From there on, his graph never knew a low. He was on fire. Talented as he was, scoring 12.1 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. His shooting percentage, 62.2% from the floor, was the reason he made it to the school's list for field goal percentages in a single season. Warren has never been an average player. You gotta admit that. Now, the bottom line is, figures define Warren. That's right, anyone will be impressed looking at the figures this man has created for himself. Looking at his career when he last played, Warren has been on fire with an average of 15.5 points per game and shot 53% from the field. Not only that, the Pacers have won 75% of the games when the wings of Warren have been there for support. The NBA built a bubble for players to remain safe from coronavirus and play basketball without any worries. A 107-day-long event in which TJ Warren was on absolute fire as he averaged 26.6 points per game, 6.3 on rebounds, and 54% chance of a shot from the field. Now that's impressive. So the question is, what does the future hold? There is no doubt that Warren has been a consistent player in his career and a star mid-range scorer. He's fast, unfazed, and determined to win. But his injury has thrown a curveball to the commentators. No one is sure how his injury would affect his game, and this is the reason NBA teams might be hesitant to pick him. If things go well and he's in good shape, we've no doubt about his being picked fast. Any team would be lucky to have him, but we're afraid of the finality of this deal would depend on him staying healthy. Much as this pains us, this is how the sports world works. He might be making it back into the season for less, but once his player starts to score big, there is no doubt that he'll become the most sought-after player again. For now, he's considered injury-prone and has much to prove this season. While the pressure is mounting, and we're sure that we'll be hearing people talk about this throughout the games, we do hope that TJ Warren makes it back into the big leagues and is able to wrap up this season with a career-defining performance that we know he's capable of. Okay then, enough of the lows. Now let's get to the highs. Taking you back to 1st August 2020, in a match against the 76ers, Warren scored 53 points, scoring 9-12 three-pointers, and 20 out of 29 shots taken, beating his old record of 40 and building up a new one. It may look easy, but getting 53 points is a task. Another match to look at is the one on 1st of November 2017 against the Wizards, in which Warren scored another whopping 40 points, making 10 rebounds. The game shifted itself in the second half as Warren got charged up and sent some spells their way. Another match is the one with the Lakers on 8th August 2020, in which he scored 39 points. The highlight was that Warren not only scored the highest in the game, but also managed to score the last 7 straight in order to put Pacers ahead and win the game. Now that's what we call determination. One last game that we consider to be a great one is the one on January 6, 2020, where Warren scored 36 points. Not only that, he scored 30 of the points in the second half and led the Indiana Pacers to victory once again. Something really happens to this guy in the second half, doesn't it? Looking at all these games, we see that Warren is definitely a deserving athlete, and even though he has faced some hard times, his worth cannot be defined by an injury. We're hopeful that he'll make an epic comeback with the Brooklyn Nets, and let's hope it doesn't get to the second half half this time. Let's get our hands on some related updates as well. First off, how grand was the British Grand Prix? Wow, that's all we've got to say about the British Grand Prix. Drama as soon as the race started as the Alfa Romeo driver, Jules Gagnon, crashed and got flipped over. Moving on to lap 45 of the race, a battle between Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez occurs, where both are going head-to-head to take the lead, and in the process, forget that a 7th-time world champion Lewis Hamilton is breathing down their necks and snatches both positions from them. The driver that made history, though, is Carlos Sainz, with his first F1 podium by taking over his teammate and thinking not about the team, but of himself. I mean, come on, the guy has the chance to take his first win. Ain't nothing stopping him. We can't forget about our newest champion, Max, can we? A sad day for him as the damage to his car really proved to be a nuisance, but he managed to secure 7th place. Overall, it was a phenomenal race, and one that doesn't come around every time. On to Bayern destroying Barcelona off the pitch. The multi-champion league winners have told Barcelona that if they want the star player, they shall pay the money up front in cash. The Germans believe that Barcelona will not be around in a few years, and they do not want to give Lewandowski up for free. You might wonder what they meant by not be around, right? Well, Barca, as we like to call them, is in financial ruin, and their economic vice president has asserted that the club needs £428 million in order to save themselves. This was also part of the reason the club had to let go of Lionel Messi, as his wage was soaring up just like his goals. Barcelona has even struck a deal to sell off 10% of their TV rights. We are Barca fans, and seeing them in this state just breaks our heart. Wish we could help, not one to let go. Williamson is here to stay. Zion is a huge part of what we want to accomplish, says Coach Willie Green of the Pelicans. After the star was left out and did not seem to sign with the Pelicans, a new deal comprising 5 years maximum has been struck between the club and the player. Both aim to defeat the negative narratives of the doubters, and we're excited to hear it. The star claims that he felt very overwhelmed and tried to stay positive, but every time he opened his phone, there was so much negativity. The vice president of operations also said that this was an opportunity to put to bed a lot of things that were said. We really believe that we need to understand the position of the player, as they are under a lot of stress, and this can take a serious toll. They're humans as well. Zion Williamson appears to be healthy and ready to play some ball. Will the 2019 #1 NBA draft show us what he's made of? We can't wait to find out. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Warren's return, and what does this mean for the Brooklyn Nets? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.